Good Tuesday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Conversation Daily News. Glad you all could be with us. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. Have a message from my book, Word That Choose to Live By. And in today's news you can use, here in part of my conversation with Dr. Mitchell Elkind. He rejoined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about the role of the American Heart Association in raising awareness about heart disease. You don't want to miss that. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In Mississippi news, Mississippi, third most expensive state for groceries, says the Vicksburg News. A recent compilation of data from Help Advisor found that Mississippi is the third most expensive state for groceries. U.S. households spend an average of $270 per week on groceries, or roughly $1,000 per month. Average weekly grocery spending is highest in California, Nevada, and in Mississippi. Households in Wisconsin, Iowa, and Nebraska spend the least on groceries on average, and households with children spend an average of $332 per week at the grocery store, or 41% more than households without children. A four-person household spends on average $315 per week on groceries. While U.S. inflation slowed in 2023, grocery store cash registers continued running hot. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Consumer Price Index for food at home was up 1.7% year over year in November. The overall average household spending on groceries $1,000 per month, while an average four-person U.S. household spends $1,200 per month at the grocery store. That according to the HelpAdvisor.com analyst of the most recent data from the U.S. Census Household Pulse Survey that measured the average amount of money spent on food prepared and eaten at home for the period of October the 18th to October the 30th, 2023. In more Mississippi news, Mayor Lumumba defends West Jackson, Mississippi homeless project and sets ambitious goals, says the Clarion Ledger. A new city project aimed at shrinking Jackson's homeless population has caused controversy among residents of West Jackson and members of the Jackson City Council. Sitting in his third-floor office at Jackson City Hall Thursday afternoon last week, Mayor Lumumba spoke candidly with the Clarion Ledger in an exclusive interview defending the project called Safe Place, Safe Space. He addressed what he sees as misinformation and discussed the overall goals he thinks the project will bring to the city. I've been talking about this since we took office, Lumumba says. We've been talking for a long time. It's time that we actually demonstrate some action, and that's what we're doing, he says. The project will build a 60-unit tiny home village, each unit equipped to serve one person and their pet, on 18 acres on Capers Avenue in West Jackson. In national news, Biden's rightward shift on immigration angers advocates, but it's resonating with many Democrats, says the Associated Press. In his 2020 campaign, Joe Biden vowed to undo former President Donald Trump's immigration policies, particularly expressing frustration with the policy setting limits on the number of asylum seekers at the southern border. This year, Biden backed a Senate proposal that would have set daily limits on border crossings, and Democrats are planning the campaign to re-elect him by emphasizing that Republicans caused the deal to collapse. Democrats are reframing the immigration debate, going from embracing more welcoming policies in response to the Trump administration's programs at the border, including its separation of hundreds of migrant children from their parents, to declaring that they can get tough on border security and adopt policies long sought by Republicans. Biden's rhetoric shift risks straining his support from immigrants and their advocates who campaigned for him in 2020, but it appears to be working for Democrats after they won a special election in New York. In more national news, Wisconsin's governor signs new legislative maps into law after Republicans passed them. Wisconsin Democratic Governor Tony Evers signed new legislative district maps into law on Monday that he proposed and that the Republicans who control the legislature passed to avoid having the liberal-controlled state Supreme Court draw the lines. Democrats hailed the signing as a major political victory in the swing state, where the legislature has been firmly under Republican control for more than a decade, even as Democrats have won 14 of the past 17 statewide elections. When I promise I want fair maps, not maps that are better for one party or another, including my own, I well mean it, Evers said prior to signing the maps into law at the state capitol. Wisconsin is not a red state or a blue state, we're a purple state, and I believe our map should reflect that basic fact. And finally, in entertainment news, Oppenheimer wins 7 prizes, including Best Picture, at the British Academy Film Awards. Atomic bomb epic Oppenheimer won 7 prizes, including Best Picture, Director, and Actor at the 77th British Academy Film Awards on Sunday, cementing its frontrunner status for the Oscars next month. Poor Things took 5 prizes, and Holocaust drama The Zone of Interest won 3. British-born filmmaker Christopher Nolan won his first Best Director BAFTA for Oppenheimer, and Irish performer Cillian Murphy won the Best Actor prize for playing Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Words That Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Tuesday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words That Choose to Live By. Remember that people can think of you whatever they like. That's okay, and that's their right. What matters to you should be what you think of yourself. Don't allow what others assume about you to be the reality you live under. Be the you that you were created to be, and the rest will take care of itself. Have an amazing Tuesday. We are part of my conversation coming up with Dr. Mitchell Elkind in today's News You Can Use. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your News You Can Use. Dr. Mitchell Elkind joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about how the American Heart Association has helped bringing awareness to heart disease and what you need to know. Is a bit of our conversation.
Dr. Elkind, thank you so much for the time today. Really do appreciate it.
Cyrus, thank you for having me and the Heart Association on your show today. Really appreciate it.
Well, look, this is an important topic for our audience, especially here in the South, where, of course, heart disease is such a big issue. Can you tell us a little bit about the initiative, Bold Hearts Centennial Celebration, and what it's hoping to accomplish?
Of course. So, the American Heart Association is actually the largest voluntary organization dedicated to fighting heart disease and stroke. And the organization was founded in 1924, and so we're celebrating our 100th anniversary this year. And we've accomplished some great stuff over the last century. For example, cutting heart disease death rates in half, and that's been accelerating recently. And we continue to fund research, to educate people about heart disease and stroke, and to advocate for healthy policies. But we're not done yet, because heart disease remains the number one killer in the United States, and stroke is the leading cause of disability. So we're going to double down on our mission over the course of the next 100 years and expand it to cover disorders of the brain and the rest of the body as well. And so that's really our goal over the course of this next century.
Yeah. So, Dr. Elkind, for our audience out there, I think for a lot of people, a lot of them don't realize the things they need to be aware of. Is education also a part of this call to action for us to find out, of course, not only, of course, about the causes of heart disease, but also to be more proactive when it comes to our health?
Absolutely. So, I think you just mentioned that just over half of people don't even know that cardiovascular disease is the leading killer. And similarly, many people who have heart disease don't even know that they have it. Half of the people who have heart disease are not aware of it. Things like high blood pressure and other risk factors for heart disease often don't present with any symptoms.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversation Daily News, but let's get on to more news, message from my book, Words That Choose to Live By, and of course your entertainment spotlight. Until then, ever host Cyrus Webb saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today. Let us go make today amazing. Take care.